I want to enjoy a couple hours of my day because I've some stuff that we're not going to get into that I do that occupies my whole time. But I'm like, holy shit, I have to write a book. I have to do consultation, $8,000, 3 hours. I have to do so much shit, and then they want content. And I'm like, turn this shit off. I turned the fame off, and I swear to God, it was the best fucking 2 years of my life. That's how much I can't stand talking to people. We have shit to talk about, but when I see people on the street, it's almost like
you feel as though your energy a little bit.
Oh man, it's like you're a true introvert if you go to the movie theater with your friends and you get exhausted from it. Have you ever hung out with your buddies and you're like, I need a break from we had so much fun, leave me alone, I want to read some books, I want to do some, adult shit. And the older you get, the more you're going to want to do adult shit, where it's like, I love, my nephew's 6 years old, now 7. I want to be there for him. So I spend 3 times a week, 12 hours a day with him. And I love it, right? Well, it can get annoying too, but when he's gone, the peace and quiet is at such a high level that all the women in my phone, I say, don't talk to me. I am falling in love and I don't know with what. And it's that peace of quiet, right? And I've always maintained there's like, if you can meditate 20 minutes a day, you'll know what I mean by it's the fountain of energy. And it shows up. It's like strengthening a muscle over time, but you can go off once. There's a lot of people who go into dream states where they just want to escape into that world, that real world. They want to go into that way, which is big no-no. You have to be in the world too. Not taken by the world, but you have to, thinking, feeling, willing has to be in your society. And Times Square is now Twitter. You have to be a part of that. But turning the fame off for 2 years, not going to podcasts, not taking the flights, I swear I grew up more in those 2 years time.
Do you actually?
No. I actually tell people, come here on an empty stomach, under pressure, a little exhausted, and you perform. And 100%. Some guys get fucked over by that. They're like, I go on a podcast, my stomach is grumbling. What the fuck, bro? You fucked me over. And I'm like, don't follow my channel if it doesn't work. Only follow my channel if my methods work. Because I don't think an XQC type person with that kind of temperament will gain any, everyone loves to market themselves for everyone. I was good from you can build off that. If you're a lot like me, you can build so much off that. But if you're like XQC with temperament and all that, everything I say is going to probably fuck you over, besides the spiritual and the Catholic message. Besides that, everything else I say will fuck you over. Like,
it has to feel aligned.
Yeah.
When it comes to it,
for it to execute well.
Yeah, it has to. You have to enter a state where you say, I want. Like I always say, who you're watching, you're becoming. If you don't want to, oh, this is a. I like all the energy, the cloud around me, but I don't want to do all the crazy shit on the streets. And it's like, well, if you're Zerka maxing, what do you think is going to happen to you? That's why I say if you go soft Zerka max, if you soft max, that's fine. I don't think many humans should do exactly what I do. I think take what works, fuck off, leave me alone, and then people say, yo, this is good shit.
Quick question: are you saying if you have a hard time losing it, someone stealing it, or so I was so relieved when I met the guys at I Trust Capital. They told me they have a premium custody account, which basically means money can only move in and out from your bank account.
I want to overcharge. It's almost like if you get a program for free, you'll never implement it.
100%.
And people are like, oh, you're above that. You're so intelligent. You think of this stuff. No, I've seen programs that are low cost, and I've never clicked on them. Ever. If I'm buying how to edit a video program in my early days, the most expensive one every single time, I just want many reviews, I want that one. And I'm telling you, I've always functioned like if most of society is benefiting from this editing software, I am most of society. I'm a part of this group too. I should get that one. all the biggest losers on earth. This is the best sales pitch on earth right now. You should go buy my shit. All the biggest losers on earth, they will go to the cheapest program and they'll quit. And it's like, dude, you know, now you're wasting time and money. You're wasting a lot. And that's not to say that buying a program is you should be smart enough to know what a scam is, like Hustler's University versus someone spitting from their soul. If you can't tell the difference, I want to say you deserve to get scammed. No one on earth deserves to get scammed. It's actually the lowest feeling when you're late on rent and you get scammed. There's no lower feeling because it's like there's no one there to witness it, and the only witness is your inner being, and there's an illusion that it's going yourself, but it's like an illusion. You're alone, you got scammed, and you say, fuck, man, I'm a piece of shit, I'm an idiot. And then that spirals into years of, oh, I'm an idiot, I can't pay my rent. All that thinking, feeling, garbage. So I hate scams. And I feel like every course seller, I hate course sellers. I sell a course, I hate course sellers. They put them all on the YouTube and say, would you buy your own fucking program? And how many imagine Andrew Tate sitting, you don't have to respond to this. I don't want to do anything to you, John, but he's gonna be mad. But imagine all the Hustler University types of people when they're on that lie detector where they've already lost their hair from lying so much, you know? They're thinking too much about stupid shit, they're burning up. A lot of people don't realize that stressing your central nervous system makes you go bald. It burns you up. High thinking types go bald all the time. All their etheric energies up here. Steve Jobs, it's not a bad thing. You guys can make millions of dollars, but imagine you lined up course sellers and say, okay, Zerka, go first, lie detector, we buy your own program. That would be the best content in the universe. You should set it up and bring Andrew Tate here.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's when I initially met Clive. The first thing he said to me was, Jack, interviewing all these guys, like, do they like you think they're all grifters, right? And I was like, no, I think they believe their own shit.
Like Ripple?
Yeah. Like everyone I'd interviewed, I was like, I think they have to believe it because otherwise they can't function.
Or in an unconscious way, like they force themselves to believe it.
Right. It's like I'm helping people at the end of the day. But I do know what you're saying about cognitive dissonance and how that can transmute into the body.
I think the way you can see it's genuine is does this human being watch his own advice content? Like when I see it pop up on my page, Twitter, feed, whatever, do I stop? I'm not talking about this because I'm talking about the recording stuff. Does Zerka stop every time and watch it with a smile? Or is he so ashamed of scamming people that he just swipes and goes to the next thing? Yeah. And you know what's crazy is a lot of people are like, dude, your methods is going to make me so much money. I genuinely believe there's much more money in scamming people. Way more. Like if you want, my methods are for, I get good sleep. I'm not as rich as the other guys, I'm rich enough. But man, imagine Zerka did a gambling sponsor. You know how many are at my fucking doorstep? And people are like, for years, why don't you take that? That's just free money. And I'm like, you don't understand the karmic implication. If a human being gives you $1,000 and doesn't tell you why, you are karmically linked to that 1,000 he gave you. That's why the most moral people in history, from samurai to whatever, they always said, I can't accept that. I cannot accept that. Because intuitively their spiritual core knows that money is karmic substance. If you get, for example, I had like $10,000 sent to me by this woman before the fame, right? Because my first fame was 2018 and I was 25 years old, and then the big stuff, international fame, was 2023. But I had a girl sending me money, and it was the biggest regret of my life because I'm like, I don't know how she got that money. She probably took it for some simp, and then boom, now I'm linked to it. When humans understand that he's not lying, you are linked to every transaction. Meaning, if someone on earth gives you $1,000, he's just being friendly, but he's a criminal. You are linked to that karma. Bad things start happening to you, and you're like, what the fuck? I didn't even do anything. That's why in politics, oh, you took money from him? You know how people make a big deal like, you can't just take that money. You really can't. If Zerka took money from like dual bits or whatever Andrew Tate and them do, or or all those online gambling casinos, it affects everything you're doing on earth. The only thing you're here for is to morally upgrade. What do you think is happening when you're getting rich in that way? You're doing what you came on earth to do backwards, meaning more trouble. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't care if my life gets shittier as long as I'm rich for the next 7-10 years doing that sponsorship, which happens all the time. They have so much fun in their yachts and shit. But here's the problem. When you morally degrade, your family gets hit hard. And bad things don't just happen to you. It's everyone you're linked to as well. It's like that stream of energy, free. For every single ancient temple, culture, religion, all spoke about moral progression for a reason. It's not because it's a cute story that makes the black guy stop killing people. It's what you are put on earth to do, and you drink from the draft of forgetfulness because you cannot know it's the right thing. If you know it's the right thing, you are not free. If you know, oh shit, I'm being watched, if you know it to your core, you are not free. You cannot, for example, doing moral deeds because you're afraid of God is actually doing to your thinking, feeling, and willing. Your soul is not evolving. If you give to the homeless because you pity them, you want good grace from the Lord, it's not having the same effect that you think it's having. It must come from freedom. It must come from you, and it doesn't matter if you learn that at 70 or 20 years old. The only thing that's different is for those 70 years, you're to your tribe. And a lot of people are like, damn, I'm gonna get karmically damaged for that. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying they needed you. Where the fuck were you, fucking? People in tribes need each other. Like, we're born into tribes. Like, Twitter is... If your content is... For me, I use my personality, not just my inner man. So I'll have the women around me to get people close, and then I give them the truth. And then a lot of people hate that. They're like, wait, you can't use your personality. If you're a karate master, do not think your purpose is going to church. You have to generate that inspires the kids to join karate, and boom, you're doing your incarnation task. That's why everyone's face on earth is different. 2,000 years ago, one tribe would have kind of the same face. A lot of people, this is the first time any human on a podcast has said this, by the way, but our faces are evolving towards ego consciousness. It's differentiation. Everyone is different with their talents and capacities. That's for a reason.
Purenex Rejuvenating Cream is a luxurious skincare formula designed to deeply hydrate, restore elasticity, and promote smoother, healthier looking skin with a youthful glow.
There's a lot of Christians who are convinced every businessman, ball player, fighter has to go to church and become religious. And when they do it, it's so fake. You can just see it's fake. That's not their path. To generate thinking, feeling, and willing up from their soul perfectly, the NFL player has to play ball. That's his karmic path. As many people as he inspires is linked to him. So the Lord built a lot of fun for us. People don't know how fun differentiation is. Now, if you're just playing football and morally degrading, but does Tom Brady need? I think he's actually a good person who's with the Lord. I don't know if he talks about it, but you can see when people are on their mission. You can see that your talents are not to be substituted and suppressed just so you become more priestly. They memorize more scripture. And a lot of people tell me, they're like, how do you do Bible study for years, 2 hours a night before bed? I just can't do it. I'm like, you don't have to, bro. Once you have something you love, you're naturally going to gravitate that way. But I love that kind of stuff, right? You don't have to do that stuff. You're not going to do 72 years on earth without coming to spirituality, unless you're like a total fucking retard. And a lot of people are like, there's so many atheists that are happy and doing their own thing. They're not atheists. They're thinking, feeling, and willing. They're generating so much love. Act of a Christian. They're fulfilling the Christian mysteries, and what's funny? The strongest Christians on earth will never say that they're Christian. It's almost like saving someone's life. They don't even talk. They're just saving lives, right? They're just fixing someone's heart. That's why I say, anytime you see someone always talking about Christianity, those people always get leaked to being the worst pieces of shit. It's almost like they're trying to hide something, but you can see in people's deeds who is linking up to that stream of energy, and a lot of people there's a lot of Christians who are convinced if you preach nonstop that things happen for you. And look how many preachers there are on earth, like those TikTok Christians make content all day and then they get leaked that they try to fuck a girl against her will. And have you seen that on Twitter? I don't want to say that. There's a lot of Christian channels that they get leaked for doing something weird, and
they're too in their thinking, right?
They're surprising.
They're logically deduce that God is real, and then they kind of lean into this whole Pascal's wager thing of, if I believe in God, I get this infinite life.
Yeah. Doesn't work like that at all.
Yeah, it's like the issue with that is I think of heaven as something that shouldn't even be given to us through logic. Is just because you should just be in that state, right? And you should be thinking, feeling, willing, and then that's the path toward like enlightenment.
Which we're talking about being. A lot of people talk about knowledge. I learned scripture. But are you being? Like, I always say this. A beautiful woman stumbles out of a nightclub and she's drunk, and the first instinct, even bisexual women, even some straight women that are just horny, their instinct, male or female, when they see a woman stumbling out of a nightclub drunk, is to take advantage of her. No human actually comes to that consciousness. They start to help her. You start to see them trying to get them in an Uber or a taxi. It's coming from a good place. But these people, these are the same types of people that if they hold a knife, they have flash thoughts of stabbing someone, so they don't have moral authority, they don't have inner being, which is so dangerous because, naturally nothing's going to happen. But on LSD, on some kind of party drug, not that that's a party drug, but people party with it, don't do that. Some of these guys jump out of windows, right? Because they don't actually have control of themselves, and spirits float into us, into our auras like fish. That's why you can have flash thoughts of fucked up shit. It's not you, it's things coming through you. And when you don't have a spiritual core, those demons get louder and louder. And a lot of people don't realize that, yeah, maybe you never took advantage of a woman, but no woman likes you. Why? She doesn't sense you have a spiritual core, no moral authority. She's getting moral authority from a drug dealer downtown that will protect her more than from the good little Christian. Right. So she's really sensing like, hey, you're a rapist. That's what she's putting out in the world when you're talking to her. That's why a lot of these guys who don't get women don't realize that they have so much inner work to do before another soul feels safe. But safe doesn't mean you do what I say, bitch, and stuff like that. Safe literally means in an emergency, are you gone off the window? Are you bitch, or what the fuck are you doing? That's what safety means. And
I have referred my family and friends to Jerry. That's how much
And I always thought it's instinctual. I was like, you become a man, you grow a beard, and then you just want to protect the woman that they're all trying to take you. I remember working in a nightclub. I'm like, why is every guy that has a good life, they have money, they're good looking, why are they all fighting to jump in that cab with her? She's literally puking drunk. That is the worst scenario you can be in, and it's gross, she's puking, but you see demonic nature from Christians all the time. Just get a couple beers in them at a nightclub. You see them and they're eating out a fat bitch. You see it from fucking Buddhists. You see it from all types of people. And it's like, dude, it's not knowledge. You can memorize all of scripture. If your level of consciousness is not knowledge, you are fucking your whole life up. Oh, women don't like me. Yeah, I don't feel safe around you either. You're a fucking weirdo. You're a beta male weirdo. And oh, I can't bench press. Beta male means she's getting her face stomped. And you're saying, oh, what the fuck? She's getting stomped. They start filming. They see girls in a fight. There's a black guy. Have you seen black guys start swinging on women? And then there's some bouncers that are like, we have to jump in. And it's interesting because bouncers always jump in together, 4 at a time. You're supposed to jump in even if it's just you at the ropes, 1. Right. That's your And there's a lot of bouncers who say, no, that's simp shit. There's some bouncers who stay at the ropes and just watch her get beat by a grown 6'6" black guy. And I really think it's like the test of your character will happen in the real world. And your sleep is going to get worse and worse. If you see something horrific happening, you do nothing to stop it, I'll forget about it. 10 years go by and you have a nervous disorder and you don't know why. And it all stems from that you're a fucking coward, right? And you're obsessed with watching content about courageous people. And I'm like, dude, you don't want 10 years with a nervous disorder. You want to do something in that kind of situation.
Fear of the Lord is not an avoidance of hell, but it's a hatred of sin. And so many people are just so scared of going to the bad place or being like judged or like being attacked, punched in the face, but like really you have to get to this state where you hate being separated from God himself in your inner state. I do want to ask, New Year's Eve 2018, you prayed for 10 minutes in the shower with a black eye, asking God for fame and a way out of this life. What did that prayer look like?
My hands were together. I felt gay doing it. It's not my nature to do that kind of stuff because at that point I was already transformed into the worst person in the city. I still had moral authority enough to where women always chased me. They felt safe from me. But drug dealing, doing all that bouncer shit, it was just like, I would consider that as like a low life. And to me, that was like my Kali Yuga, that my lowest point. And I'm like, if I'm at rock bottom and I pray, is it gonna be different? Right? Is it gonna be different than praying every day? And the stuff I would see in my head when I was in this state of stillness was so blurry. I saw, random things come up into your pictorial consciousness. The stuff that I saw happened in a, those girls with good pussy that talk about manifestation? That's exactly how it happened, where it's like, whoa, that crystal ball bitch that's fucking twisted, but she's beautiful. That crazy bitch is right. I just did that with my mind. It was so freaky that it didn't feel like God. It felt like I'm doing it, or I'm being answered by something, but it wasn't like a visionary statement. It was just some blurry image of what's supposed to happen. I go on Omegle drinking. I don't have friends. I just have coworkers, whatever. That's like every adult. But I'm drinking and I'm calling people pieces of shit on Omegle. And one guy from my home country, he doesn't even know where I'm from. He says, you would be perfect on this show. And I remember thinking, where have I seen this fucking face before? Like the Bradley Martin podcast where he's like, I feel like I've been here before. And I bit my tongue. I didn't tell Bradley that I've seen Bradley in front of me and I've already done it. It's almost like when he said this is nostalgic, I immediately felt naked. I'm like, yeah, I feel that too. But I didn't want to tell him the truth that I see things before they happen. Not in a
Neutral-T milkshakes are made with ultra-filtered milk for unfiltered fun.
Here we go again.
In the most quiet parts of my day, in the deepest meditation, perfect stillness, because in prayer, I do not see things. I go more right towards the Lord. So that's more of like a winding down, right? That's more just reverence, moral authority, power from the Lord. But in meditation and stillness, when the fog clears, I start seeing blurry faces of blonde hair women laughing at my jokes. And she's got a blue chair, a pink room, and I've never seen that before. It's probably, I don't even know what e-girls were. I swear, I didn't even know what Twitch was. When they put me on, go to this girl's house, you're at 9,000 viewers your first day, you're popping up. I was like, why is the girl sitting next to me? I went to her house. Why does she look just like the random images coming into my head? And it freaked me the fuck out that I never prayed again. I said, I got everything I wanted. They banned me. I'll do everything by myself. I am so afraid to ask for anything more. Like, you give me a fucking step, I'll take a mile with this career. That's fine. But I remember thinking to myself, like, can a human change their life and forget that the prayer worked? Dude, I forgot. There was, I think 2021, I was so focused on podcasting, all this kind of stuff. And it was great. It was great money, especially compared to bouncer. But every human listening right now, everyone in the audience will feel what I'm saying when I say all of your prayers that get answered are the ones you immediately choose to forget. That's how much of a piece of shit man is. If you look at the prayers that are not answered, forget that. Look at the ones that get answered. Humans get their prayers answered all the time. Give it a couple of weeks, depending if you're a piece of shit. Some people, days. For me, it was almost a year, months, because I'm more inclined to that. I'm born in February. That's more for me. But it was mind fucking blowing that even someone like me on podcast talking about God didn't pray. Just, hey, I'm gonna do my Twitch thing, and I started losing it again. Where it's like a lot of success, but I'm losing my inner being. So it's like diminishing returns. I don't like that feeling. And I'm like, if someone like me, imagine talking about God on a podcast with e-girls. You're a dumb bitch. You got to go to the Lord. Imagine that. It's like a pastor or a priest forgetting that their prayer got answered. And I think that happens all the time. I think the number one sin humans have is as their gratitude fades. And, a lot of people are like, are you those Christians that think humans are pieces of shit? I'm worse than the Catholics, bro. I think humans are the most vile, disgusting creatures I've ever seen, because you can give them gifts and millions of dollars, all their prayers answered, and it blurs, right? They start drinking, partying with bitches. Everything the Lord does for you will be forgotten by you, and it feels like a superpower. How can you forget the Lord? That's how much free will you have. You can just forget the good stuff that happened, but we never forget the bad stuff. We are that fucked. I want more. I want this. That's why I say you have to understand what your heart actually is. The heart doesn't pump blood. No, the blood circulates. There's an etheric pattern to the heart, the box of the heart. This energy. Every beat is trying to answer one of your wishes. It's just, your thinking, feeling, willing gets so tangled in what you want to do that all the wishes get fucked up. That's how evil man is. That's why in perfect stillness, your heart is still. That's where you have to go to understand, oh, wait a minute, spirituality is a sport? How come there's only one channel on earth talking about this? Because it's the hardest thing you'll ever have to do. Get a Zoomer. And I don't recommend Zoomers do this, go out in the world and, do your thing. But get a Zoomer to sit down in stillness, perfect stillness with their own thoughts. And some of them will, even, I don't want to get into this is too long, but even, and this guy ran the Clairvision school in Australia because he got out of the world, and that's Luciferic. If you go towards spirituality 100%, but you leave the world, you leave your mission on earth, you really isolated, and you say, I don't want this. I want to go to a different dream. I want to go do other things. And the worst thing you do is kill yourself. But at a high level in advanced person can fall off the ladder. And this is in scripture too, that even when you're at the top, you can fall back down, and that fall hurts bad. Your whole family's like, what the fuck? You and all that. But people got to realize that why would you spend your whole life doing bicep curls and no exercise for your mind?
Fuck.
If anything, the only reason you're doing.
Thanks for watching, y'all. Gotta go pick up my kids.
Like it's the right thing to do from a thought. You're thinking, feeling, willing, aligned.
Hi, man, Miranda.
You think you should come first.
I'm gonna fall. I did bust my shit this morning.
So fucking simple.
So too late for that.
I told him, say sorry, not because I think
Subscribe
just so no one
see me finish this fucking house.
Practices that say,